Trouble in space this morning as the International Space Crew attempted a spacewalk outside the station. Here's a live look at the astronauts. Well, I don't believe...
I don't think those are astronauts.
Yeah,
Where's their spacesuit?
Trouble in space this morning as the International Space Crew attempted a spacewalk outside the station. Here's a live look at the astronauts. Well, I don't believe...
I don't think those are astronauts.
Yeah,
Where's their spacesuit?
is a computer-generated dream world. Is a computer-generated dream.
Making history with her record for any American. By the time she lands in September, her tally will be 666 days in space. 666 days in space.
longer, hold hair stronger with Bold Hold. New Bold Hold is the ultimate power hold. It's wild! Maximum hold for maximum style. Hold hair longer, hold hair stronger with Bold Hold. New Bold Hold!
Alberto does it again.
With my European styling hairspray.
The ultra-fine mist sprays on evenly for super hold that won't let your styles go.
New Alberto European hairspray with ultra-fine mist.
For new super hold.
神舟7号请讲。
仪表显示轨道舱。
So you have a whole series of O-rings in here and a shaft that you rotate.
So, I mean, like on the space station, how many of these would you have?
7, because we have 7 windows.
What happens if you get a leak on that?
Then you have a leak.
You just have a leak,
and what you would do
you
is
lose air.
Yeah, you would probably seal the whole cupola off, and then there's probably a plan. I don't know off the top of my head, but there's probably a plan for replacing the mechanism. Might require a spacewalk.
So my question is, how can you operate a lid on the outside of the space station by manipulating something mechanical on the inside of the space station without losing air pressure?
It's called real good engineering.
Okay, you heard Don Pettit. He said that it takes a really good engineer to design this sort of thing. I'm told the guy quit working on the space program and now owns his own motorcycle parts business. There's another detail of those O-ring grooves, right?
Right, these are the dynamic grooves. Those two are the ones that actually are turning.
Did you hear what he just said? He said they're dynamic O-rings. That means there's a shaft running through it, actually rubbing on the O-ring. So you've got the air that you're breathing as an astronaut, right? And it's being held back from the vacuum of space by two little bitty O-rings. That's incredible.
Practice makes perfect. Give me another week.
This is Houston ACR. That concludes the event. Thank you.
Thank you. CBS News.
De astronauten daar hebben, als alles goed gaat, er dus...
It's becoming a tube of water.
It's becoming a tube of water.
Okay. Flash.
Вот у нас лимонад. Вот эта капля, она сейчас станет идеальной сферой, когда возмущение успокоится, и там...
You've been living in a dream world, Neo. This is the world as it exists today.
Alright, so I'm going fairway and high on the SP2, right? To the right? Just put it on the hand, all set. Yeah, but if I put trim the business or blow it.
Staying right?
Right, I'll just say that's fine.
К выходу в открытый космос готовят все экипажи, на всякий случай, даже если внекорабельная работа не запланирована.
That would be an honor. Go ahead, Mr. President. This is Houston out.
Hello, Neil and Buzz. I'm talking to you by telephone from the Oval Room at the White House. And this certainly has to be the most historic telephone call ever made from the White House.
Okay, here we go. Hello, Commander Fisher and Commander Whitson and Colonel Fisher. It is an honor for all of us and those online to join you and all of your colleagues at NASA in the first ever live 4K stream from space. What is the ISS position in orbit right now? "11 seconds.
Well, we're just passing over Baja, California, and we're heading in an arc over North America. By the time we finish talking, we'll be over Central Africa.
Wow. Amazing. Amazing.
Central Africa.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Hello, Neil and Buzz. I'm talking to you by telephone from the Oval Room at the White House.
Amazing. Amazing.
Columbia, this is Houston.
So many times during spacewalks outside the International Space Station, we can see air bubbles rising up. Can you touch on how there are air bubbles in space?
Can you be more specific? Air bubbles?
So yeah, like a lot of times during the footage, the NASA footage, you can see bubbles coming up out of the helmets or kind of from underneath you. How do you explain bubbles in space?
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about. Now sometimes you get water in the helmet, and it's either from sweat or from the cooling garments. And in some of my spacewalks, I had like water in the helmet. Not like I was going to drown in the helmet, but just little bits of water probably came from sweat. Often on the outside of the space station, you'll liberate little pieces of, it's a really harsh environment out there, and the outside of the space station gets beat up pretty good. And sometimes, you'll see just little flecks of paint or something that you might have disrupted floating away from the suit. And, that's generally what that is. I've never seen any kind of air bubble anywhere.
Yeah. Could it be that you're filming in an underwater pool and you're not really out there?
You got us.
All right, well, I just encourage everyone to look up Bubbles in Space, hashtag Bubbles in Space. Thank you very much. Thank you.
He spent $45 to say that.
I got him free.
Don't spread the propaganda.
Flat in space. The rate is flat. The rate is flat. The rate is flat.
Look to the sky, the rock is in the south there, I'll make it tingle when I'm proud.
There's no limit. No, 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 no. There's no limit. No, there is no destroy the sky. No light to deep, no mountain to climb. No, limits. Don't give on the fight. Don't do what you want, and we do it right. No, limits. No destroy the sky. No light to deep, no mountain to climb.
Someone has to fly the space station. That's very excusable. How does it work up there? I want to ask you. There's 6.
It was really cool over in the IMAX theater over Space Center Houston.
If you were traveling that fast, how fast is it though? It's
Well, we really appreciate you spending some time with us. We know you're coming to the end of your stay up there, and you know, very little time, and you're real busy. But we just wanted to ask you a couple questions. You know, one thing that's been going on down here is we've really been enjoying this great photography, these images you've been sending down, and it almost looks like it's science fiction or some kind of Hollywood stuff, but there's no way anyone could imagine this, of how beautiful it is. And so we're wondering, how did you do this? Well, how do you get those great shots that you've been getting up?
Well, first of all, it started with some good equipment that we have, and particularly the low light stuff. It's the D3 camera has some really amazing low light capabilities, and then it was good training. The training team at JSC, I told them I was interested in this kind of stuff, and so we worked on it some. I started with the training and the procedures up here, and then I started practicing, and that's one of the great things about a long duration mission. On a shuttle mission, you're good if you can point a camera to the window and take a few snapshots. But up here, you have the time, and we have weekends and some off-duty time to practice these things, and that's what I did. I spent a lot of time, you know, in the cupola during the night passes, trying to figure out how to get the right lighting and timing.
Yeah, because the nighttime imagery is so amazing, because it's so hard to get. Up until now, you know, recently that you've been able to do it like this, you see all these beautiful scenes during the day that we can get because there's plenty of light, and you can see it with your eye. You know, at nighttime it's like this magical place in space. It looks like it's science fiction or some kind of Hollywood. It looks like it's science fiction or some kind of Hollywood. It looks like it's science fiction or some kind of Hollywood.
Sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree? Travel the world and 7 seas. Everybody looking for something. Sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree? Travel the world and 7 seas. Everybody looking for something. Something what you used to. Something wanted you just by you. Something wanted you to. Something wanted to be of you. Руки! Пойте с нами! Sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree? Travel the world on 7 seas. Everybody looking for something. Sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree? Travel the world on 7 seas. Everybody looking for something. Sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree? Travel the world on 7 seas. Everybody looking for something.
Looks like it's science fiction or some kind of Hollywood. Looks like it's science fiction or some kind of Hollywood.
Sweet dreams, sweet dreams, sweet dreams.
We get to play. We have some pretty neat toys. Here is a spaceship. I used to build models when I was a kid, except my models didn't float. This is a model of our next spacecraft that's going to go out past, beyond low Earth orbit. It's called Orion. So we can play with that. I'll float that over here to Joe. Then I have a 7-year-old and an 11-year-old, and they had me bring one of these. I don't know. You ever seen one of those? I think you might have. Notice how it can spin without turning the inside. Then once we spin it, it's pretty stable. And we can move it around the space station while it's spinning. And if you don't stop it, it'll keep going.
Hey, there's my beautiful bride. Can you see me?
Howie? Howie?
Hey, there's my beautiful bride. Can you see me?
I can. How are you?
Hey, look, this pen is floating. How crazy is that?
Like he's been doing since he got here.
Ryan Bailey at PSU doing backflips. Ryan! How you feel? Awesome.
You got your chest camera on?
Yeah.
Here's the last dorky question I'm going to ask you, sir. Do you ever get tired of doing flips up there?
Not really. You don't. I don't get tired of it. You definitely get better at it. You know, the longer you're up here. To where
Great
you know
form, sir.
And I can do them, even much faster and do a lot of them. So you definitely get like Olympic caliber flip technique after you've been up here for a long time.
That is really cool. We love it.
She's crazy like a fool.
Practice makes perfect. Give me another week.
That is really cool. We love it.
She's crazy like a fool. What about that ain't cool? She's crazy like a fool. What about that ain't cool? I'm crazy like a fool. What about that ain't cool? Daddy, daddy cool. Daddy, daddy cool. Daddy, daddy cool. Daddy, daddy cool.
Sounds like something out of a movie like Gravity or The Martian, but NASA is saying cabin pressure is holding steady on the International Space Station.
And that's after a small hole formed on part of the station, causing a leak. NASA says it was only a couple of millimeters wide, though it's unclear what caused the hole. Cosmonaut there actually used his finger to plug it before first sealing it temporarily with tape. NASA says the crew is never in danger and will continue to monitor cabin pressure overnight.
Oh, look at that. That was beautiful.
What happens if you get a leak on that?
Then you have a leak.
You just have a leak.
And what you would do
you
is...
lose air.
Yeah, you would...
I'm ready for you. Come on in.
Clay. Do I have a quick, and then a good config-free grip? PRT is in, PGT is in.
Dave Williams about to move out of the Quest airlock. Those particles that you see emanating from the airlock is said by the EVA officer Paul Boehm in Mission Control to be particles of water from the crew's sublimators on their spacesuits.
That's the U. There you go. Up a little bit there. Okay.
The suits are in good shape, according to the spacewalk officers here in Mission Control.
ATC. I'm just out of the airlock right now. And I'll get in config to get the waist tethers all hooked up, the safety tethers, I should say.
Dave Williams beginning the third spacewalk of his career, having logged 12 hours, 45 minutes of spacewalking time on this mission.
Getting ready to put my safety tether on 550. Copy. On 550. Big NTC. Okay. My right safety tether is locked black on 550. Got a good tug test on that.
Tracy, Houston on the big loop. It looks like we're seeing water or something coming out of Dave's suit. We're wondering if you can have him take a look around, see if he sees any of it.
Yeah, I saw the same thing too, Tony. Hey, Dave, pause for a sec and take a look around your suit. But yeah, if you could make your way. We saw some droplets coming out, and I'm looking at you from camera, Charlie.
Okay.
And I saw them go up toward your feet.
Okay, I don't see anything right now.
That's normal? Okay.
And Tracy, Houston on the big loop. We'd like him to look at the front of the DCM.
Looks so fake.
What kind of trash does the ISS produce, and how much of it will be burned using the Cygnus spacecraft?
Actually, we do generate quite a bit of trash from all the different scientific investigations, and we do. Actually, we
You look like you're in a studio, maybe in Omaha, Nebraska or something. The shot is so clear. Is this a hoax? Are you really in space still?
See the hair?
I don't know. We're going to have to do something for you.
I want to do it. I know. Oh, yeah, I can do that. Watch this.
What you're seeing here is a mirage. That we're actually seeing a mirage. What you're seeing here is a mirage. That we're actually seeing a mirage. What you're seeing here is a mirage. That we're actually seeing a mirage. What you're seeing here is a mirage. That we're actually seeing a mirage. What you're seeing here is a mirage.
This is for the skeptics. Actual proof that they use wires.
You look like you're in a
Check
studio,
this out.
maybe in Omaha, Nebraska or something. The shot is so clear. Is this a hoax? Are you really in space still?
Yeah, because the air proves that you're in space.
I don't know. We're going to have to
check
do
this.
something for
Check
you.
the man with a stripy top. Look, he grabs the wire above him. Now check the man on the right. With his right arm, he grabs the wire. Did you see it? Now check in slow motion. The man on the right, look at his right arm. He's grabbing him to stabilise him. Then look at the man behind him with the stripy top on. Now he's looking up and he's grabbing the wire. Look, he's looking for the wire to grab it. Yeah, check that out. He's grabbing the wire there. Look, he's looking up because he sees the wire moving about and he's grabbing it to stabilise it. Look. Now check the man on the right with the USMC t-shirt. Check his arm. Watch this. Check his arm. Look, his arm goes to grab him, look. But he doesn't grab him, he grabs the wire. Look, there's nothing there. But he's grabbing something and it's tugging his trousers up. And then check him on the left. He looks down to see. Look, he's checking it out himself. Yeah? You wanted proof, you've just got proof there. If you don't accept this, then you are just absolutely brainwashed. This is absolute proof that they are using wires on the space station, or the fake space station. You've just been busted, guys. Busted wide open. Your hoax has been exposed. You deceiving little snakes. Fuck you all, you satanic pricks.
The Earth is flat.
The Earth is flat.
The Earth is flat.
The Earth is flat.
The world is flat.
Many thought that the Earth was still flat.
The world is flat.
The Earth is flat.
The Earth is flat.
The world is flat.
The world is flat.
You can tell it's real because it looks so fake, honestly. Like, we'd have way better CGI if it was fake.
Ha 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 ha!